Hi, this is Margo. This is Sunday evening, March the 13th, 2022. I hope everyone is safe and doing as well as possible. And I've had an awful week. I didn't know if I was even going to be able to do a show tonight, but I'm here. I'm going to try and keep it short, but I want to go over methane and a little bit of sea ice, and that's about it. But I'd like to welcome everyone to the show tonight. This will be my weekly update that I'll be putting on YouTube, and it's going to be kind of an abbreviated version because I'm so tired. And I'll go ahead and tell everyone my apartment, I had a flood. It happened in the back part of the apartment where my little office area is. My next door neighbor's water heater broke on Thursday morning, and he wasn't home, and it flooded, and it came over to my apartment, and of course I discovered it when my carpet started getting wet. And it wasn't a huge area, but it was enough to just make my life pretty much awful this week. And trying to dry it out and moving things around, and not only was it water, not just water, but he's a smoker, and so there you go. All that smoke was in the carpet, and so it just smells awful. And with my sensitivities and everything, I've been pretty ill this week from all of that, but it's getting better, and I will get through this, or God will bring me home. I don't know. I mean, frankly, I'm ready to go. I'm just so tired of all of the things, and I know everybody is, and how is everything going to end? Are we going to before a climate collapse, are we all going to blow up in a war? I just don't know. But anyway, that's what's been going on with me, and I've also had some trouble with uploading on my Vimeo account. I'm trying to troubleshoot that too. But other than that, I'm here, and NOAA has, I don't know if they're calibrating their satellites or what, but there's been no data for most of the week. See that? There's Saturday, and and here it is in the afternoon, and so I didn't even update. All I'm doing is no data, no data, no data. I'll show you what happened. Now, we ended at 1921 parts per billion in my show last Sunday, and that data was for Saturday the 5th, and we'd gone up that week half a part per billion. And then on Monday it went down 1 part per billion. On Tuesday it went down another 1 part per billion. And then we haven't had any data from NOAA since Tuesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, so that was Sunday, Monday, we had data, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, no data. So I didn't change the chart here. We're still looking at that 1921. I'm going to wait until we get some data in that's more than just a couple of days old. So there's that. So, and also wanted to show this post. This is on National Snow and Ice Data Center. They posted this on March the 8th. And it's just an update on where the sea ice is. It says Arctic sea ice approaches maximum, record low minimum in the south. So it says Arctic sea ice is approaching its seasonal peak with below average sea ice extent in the Barents Sea and the Sea of Okhotsk, but near average ice extent elsewhere. Antarctic sea ice extent set a record low minimum for the satellite data era. However, two regions of high interest to researchers remained locked in ice, Thwaites Glacier and the central Weddell Sea. So I'll leave a link and below to this write-up, and you're welcome to look at it. I'm not going to go through it, but at this point they weren't saying that we had reached the maximum extent yet in the Arctic, but I think we have, because you'll see from the charts that I downloaded from yesterday that it's going down now. So that was just an on-the-fly update from them. So now we'll go over the CAMS data for yesterday, the 12th, Arctic view and surface level. And this is Copernicus Atmosphere Monitoring Services website, and they're out of the EU. There's our color ledger at the bottom. So here the data is for Saturday, and the forecast period is Sunday through Wednesday. We're seeing it's picking back up here in Russia. This is south of that Norilsk area. Picking up here in the Scandinavian area. And Komsomol, it's either settled down or they tweaked their algorithm. But we can see it's still coming up there. It's not billowing like it had been. We're still seeing high reading on the coast of Alaska at Koktovik, and this area is in North Dakota at a lignite coal mine. We have this hot spot showing up here in the off the coast of Canada. See, there it is. That's kind of always there. Some days it's worse than others. Now we'll go to the North Pole view. Oops. You can see India's filled up and still spilling over in the Bengal Bay. Here's China. It's kind of retreated a little bit. It's not just solid with the dark color. And here's the Persian Gulf, and here's Europe, and here's North America, and we're still seeing really high readings just at certain times, just coming across the US. So, it might have gone down a tiny bit. I can't tell. I count on the NOAA data for actual numbers, and here on CAMS all we have is a range in these color ledgers. So I meant to go to the Antarctic. If I misspeak or anything, I'm just really tired and very toxified from this whole week. So here we're seeing it, look at it here at the Brunt ice shelf, and then we'll see it popping up here by the Larsen B and C. See there, that's in the forecast period there. So it could have gone down a little bit, but we're not really seeing any of the lower readings like we had been. The the navy blue, that's not anywhere, and that was 1800 parts per billion. So the main background color in the southern hemisphere is 1820. Then it goes up from there. Alright, here's the global view. See, it's really filling up in South America here. And now here's just a little trace of the navy blue here in the Pacific, and then it goes away. See, right there, it's there on Saturday and a little bit on Sunday, and then it looks like it goes away. And then we've got higher readings popping up. You can see where it goes from the light blue to the aqua. Watch. See there. So I'm thinking it's going up. It might not have gone up a whole lot, but just from seeing these colors and the areas that are coming back to life, especially in Russia, I'm thinking it could very well be going up. I don't think if it's going down, it's not by much. This is at 500 HPA, so it's got a lighter reading here in the North Atlantic. but very heavy. See, coming down into the US and across Europe and down to the Mediterranean. Here's total column. So here's the heaviest here in China, then here in India, and here's a heavy spot that's at Turkey, also in South America there. Okay, here's sulfur dioxide for today. We've got a hot spot here in the Philippines. That's probably volcano related. See, there it is at 500 HPA. Here's also a little red spot. It's just off the coast of South America, it looks like. Let's go back. No, it's in Colombia. Just barely. Barely on land there. So that's a volcano too. Here's the ozone. Over the Antarctic, you can see where the hole is forming and the break coming up. This is the Atlantic, and then here in the Pacific. And the sun is going down. I'm going to show you briefly tonight on NASA Worldview. There's a little black spot right at the South Pole where it's going dark. Here's the Arctic view of the ozone, and see the hole here over Franz Josef Land, and then here and over the Kara Sea and the Yamal Peninsula, it looks like. And here's the global view. It looks pretty bad, doesn't it? Here's some aqua here down in Indonesia. So anything in the greens and the blues and blue-green or aqua, that's below average and below normal. So there's that. Now we'll just tour through Climate Reanalyzer. Here's 2 meter temperature anomaly for today. We've got very high readings coming up from Greenland across the North Pole, and it looks like it's about 24°C higher than normal. And then Greenland is in the brown and the red, and Svalbard is in the brown. And then we've got browns over this East Siberia Sea, and then we've got, see, the blues and purples right next to it. Here's the flat view. Worldwide, we're up 0.2°C higher than normal, so that's gone down a little bit. Northern hemisphere is up 0.5°C. The Arctic is 1.8°C higher than normal. The Antarctic is down 0.5°C. Southern hemisphere is down 0.1°C, and the tropics are up 0.2°C. Here's precipitation and clouds, and we've got rain in this North Atlantic Sea. It's even coming up north of Iceland. Look how far south the rain is coming, almost to the tip of that western peninsula in the Arctic. And here's what's left of, well, what used to be the jet stream. It's just clumps. There's no polar vortex just holding in that cold air anymore. And it's broken. Can't be fixed. Here's sea ice and snow cover. Now I'm not gonna do the slideshow for this. We'll just look at this for today. Here we can see it's melting by Svalbard going up to Franz Josef Land, and it looks about the same as last week. Not a lot of difference. Here's sea surface temperature anomaly. We've got the browns here in the Barents Sea next to the blue, and then coming up in the North Atlantic we've also got the North Sea, now brown. All of the Baltic Sea is in the brown now. And still much higher than normal here off the coast of North America, going up into that whitish pink, which is 6C higher than normal. And we can see the Gulf of Mexico is heating up. That's all brown, moving towards the red. Here's the flat view, and we can see it's heating up here south of Africa. And look at this Indian Ocean, it's almost all brown. Then browns all around Australia and Indonesia and so on. Look at this. This is the Persian Gulf. That's going brown. Worldwide, we're up 0.4 C higher than normal. The Northern Hemisphere is up 0.4 C. The North Atlantic is up 0.5 C. North Pacific is up 0.4 C. Southern Hemisphere is up 0.3 C. And the Equatorial Pacific is down 0.2 C. Okay, next I do have our models here to look at. This is from National Snow and Ice Data Center. This is their latest data that they posted today. And this is sea ice concentration in the Arctic as of yesterday the 12th. And the more blue it is means the less concentrated it is. And see, we're even seeing holes, pretty good size holes, coming up around Franz Josef Land. The kind of the brownish golden line is the median, and so we're inside that line, meaning we're below the average or the median, which we knew that. Here's the chart for sea ice extent. The blue line is this year, and we can see it leveled off earlier this week. It had gone down, and then it leveled off, and now it looks like it went down a little bit in this last reading too. This dotted line is 2012, spring of 2012. So we're below where 2012 started before they had such a huge melt that summer. And then here's the average. You can see we're well below that. Here's the Antarctic sea ice concentration. We're getting some regrowth here in the Weddell Sea and here on the southern end. And over on this west side, these pieces that had broken off from the Thwaites Glacier from the tongue, those are freezing back together. And so that's counted as regrowth. And here in the Weddell Sea, it's refreezing on this east side, especially near the Brunt ice shelf. This had opened up during their summer. Here's their sea ice extent. Now they bottomed out earlier, right in here in February, and so now we can see the curve going up. So it's on the upswing now. Getting ready to start refreezing. And see, this is last year. The refreeze started early last year, but here we are now. It's refreezing. So National Snow and Ice Data Center will put out probably a post and talk about the Arctic maximum and the Antarctic minimum again, and listing the actual numbers. I'm anticipating that, I don't know, maybe this week. I mean, this is the 13th. It's almost mid-March. I can't believe it. I can't believe we're still here. I'm just... Anyway. I'm getting too old for this. So here we are. This is the Navy Arctic sea ice thickness model. This is as of today. You can see this Bering Sea is not looking too good. You got all that white. That's open water, so that's melting already. We've got a darker spot here. This is in the Chukchi Sea, just next to the Bering Strait. And this is in that dark aqua. That's about 1.5 meters thick. And then the bright aqua is about 2 to 2.5 meters thick. And we've got that just up here, just north of Canada and Greenland, and a little bit of the bright aqua just coming in certain spots. But most of the Arctic is below 2 meters thick. So that's pretty bad. If this is at the end of their growth season, and that's what we've got. And it's melting. You know, you saw the line there where it was starting to go down. So if it's melting, it's not going to keep thickening. I think this is about as thick as it's going to get. and then it's going to start going down fast because the sun is up. There's just a little spot, a little bit at the North Pole that's still in the dark. So this was updated to today. This is the 30-day animation. So the data goes back 3 weeks, and the forecast period goes out to next Sunday. You can see this demarcation between the thicker ice and then the ice is just really struggling to even hold its own right now. So there's that. Here's the Beaufort sea ice thickness. This is as of yesterday. Here's the thickest ice, 5 meters, and not much. It's just a sliver here along the Canada coastline and a little bit along the Greenland coastline, and then yellow, and then into the green. The green is about 3 meters thick, and then we've got the different shades of aqua here in the Beaufort Sea. So here the data goes out to next Saturday. Now they're showing it thickening up a little bit here, moving a little bit into the greens. That could just be from the ice drift, pushing the ice towards the coastline and it thickening up. There's that. Now we'll go to the Antarctic. This is sea ice thickness as of today. And here again in the Weddell Sea, the Ross Sea, we can see it's growing back here and here on this southern edge, and here from the Thwaites Glacier out, see there's a regrowth there. And here in the Weddell Sea, it's not very concentrated, but and some of it is just very, very thin, just a skim of ice, but it is refreezing here in this east part of the Weddell Sea. So this is the bulk of the thicker ice right here on the west side, and a little bit down here on the elbow, and we're seeing a little bit growing out from the coastlines. Here's the 30-day animation. So it's showing the regrowth. So there's that. Now we'll just briefly look at some of this on NASA Worldview. Here we are today. This black circle is where it's still dark. We can see that all of Greenland is now in the sunlight. So all of the land masses are in the sunlight now, and this circle will keep getting smaller and smaller until the sun's all the way up there. Now, if we turn on the sea ice concentration layer, we can see where this hole is opening up. See, this is melting from Svalbard up. This is Franz Josef Land. Here's a big hole already. So this ice here in quadrant 2, that's going to melt fast, and this ice in the Laptev Sea will melt fast too. Now we'll just see briefly what's going on here. Hard to see. There are a lot of clouds. Here's the Baffin Bay. Now if we look to yesterday, here see, this had been a big hole, and it's kind of freezing up. Not much, but trying to. Here's the nearest strait. Now earlier this week, this was showing just a lot of open water. I can't tell. I guess let's turn on our ice surface temperature layer. Okay, we're looking through clouds. There's a lot of, so you see the bright white, that's the ice, and the light gray, that's the cloud that we're looking through. So this is either open water underneath that cloud, or it could be just a little film of just very thin ice. But this is very bad. For it to not be solidly frozen at the end of their winter is a very bad sign. Let's see. Look at this. And this is a big exit point for sea ice. Now, this is the Lincoln Sea. So this is, I'm thinking this is going to melt out fast. Let's go back to today. Here's Svalbard. That's a weird color because the angle of the sun. But this is, I'm thinking that's open water with maybe just a fringe of ice. Here's Franz Josef Land. Here's the hole right here. Wait, here we go. Here it was yesterday. So here's the hole, see? Here's the ice. That's open water. A lot of open water here. Let's go back to today. Now, here's Novaya Zemlya. Here's the Kara Sea. And here it is. See, this is cracking open really fast. See the dark there? That's open water. And this is pretty thin too. Here's Severnaya Zemlya. This is Komsomolets. And here's the hole around this end. This is the area where we see methane billowing all the time for 2 years. 2 years now. Over 2 years. 2 years in January. Alright, now we're coming into the Laptev Sea. See, these leads are opening up. See that? See this? Here's a big long crack. Look at this. Look at this. Here's New Siberian Islands. Look at this. See the crack? Look at that. And this area here is part of the shelf that's coming out from the coast. And then there's an opening, see? And then the sea ice opening here along that shelf. Here's what it looks like. Look at this crack going all the way across. See? This is getting ready to just break apart. Everything will just break apart, and it'll be like ice cubes floating around, and they'll melt out a lot faster than solid ice. This is Wrangell Island. See, look at that. Open water there. See, more cracks opening up. And then here's the Bering Strait. See. Now it's thicker on the Arctic side rather than on the Pacific side. See. And then, see, it's pretty thin there. And then let's come on down. This is the Beaufort Sea, so that's cracking up. See, there's open water there. See, we're looking through a cloud. Let's see. Here it was yesterday. That's a better view. Look at that. See the open water? And here along the coastline. See, it's open. We'll come back to today. And a lot of clouds. Here's yesterday. See, this is more concentrated. See, it's frozen in between the big pieces of ice. But that'll open up. We'll come back to today. A lot of clouds. Here's Ellesmere Island. So the thickest sea ice we're seeing is right along here, this area, into the 5 meters thick. And then a little sliver along the Greenland coastline as well. Alright, now let's go to the Antarctic. See, here's the dot. There's where the sun's starting to go down. It's right in the center of the South Pole. So that's dark there. Here's the Ross Sea. Here's the Ross Ice Shelf. And can't really tell much through these clouds. But it is refreezing. See the ice? There it is. And then coming around, and this is an excellent view today of this whole Thwaites and Pine Island Glacier region. Now, this is the Thwaites Glacier. This tongue comes all the way down. And remember, this had cracked off and everything was coming apart. Now we can see that it's refreezing in between. See? And so this is going to freeze up. And see how far out this ice extends from there. And then it comes up. And here is Pine Island Glacier. And here's the hole that formed this year. So there's that. And here's the Weddell Sea, Weddell Ice Shelf. And let's find the iceberg I'm following. This is A76 that broke off earlier. Uh-oh. Okay, so here it is. I think it's going to get frozen in, so it won't make it out to the ocean this year. It's going to be frozen in. Here's the Western Peninsula and the Larsen Ice Shelves there. And then down here, this is the Brunt Ice Shelf. and there's still some open water around here, but it is in the process of refreezing. Here's the north end, got a little refreeze there. And then here's the Amory ice shelf, another place where we see methane coming up. So this was on the 11th. This is an excellent view, cloud free. And there's where it's melted. You can see the flow coming down. And here's the ice refreezing in the Antarctic there. Okay, here we are today. Coming on around. And then here's the Totten Glacier. Here's an excellent view today. And here's the crack coming along that tongue. But it never cracked off completely. And then see all this ice refreezing here. So that's the ice. And we'll briefly look at earthquakes. We have 173 worldwide in the last 24 hours. Down here, this is off the coast of Sumatra. Here's a 6.7 off the coast. Now this came in today at 2:09 p.m. Look, this is picking up. We've got 4 here. Oops. And then here, 6.4 near Cabra, Philippines. That came in today at 2:05 p.m. So about the same time as the other one. So some big ones there. And let's see what's happened this week. 7 days, all magnitudes. Let's see. Look at this down in Mexico. Look at this. I'm amazed we're still here. Look at all that on the west coast. Here's Iceland at 4.2, just north of Iceland. So that's my report for tonight. And we'll finish up by continuing to read out of the Bible. We're on Ecclesiastes, and this was written by Solomon, this book. Ecclesiastes chapter 4. So I returned and considered all of the oppressions that are done under the sun, and behold, the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comforter, and on the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comforter. Wherefore I praise the dead which are already dead, more than the living which are yet alive. Yea, better is he than both they, which hath not yet been, who hath not seen the evil work that is done under the sun. Again I considered all travail and every right work, that for this a man is envied of his neighbor. This is also vanity and vexation of spirit. The fool foldeth his hands together, and eateth his own flesh. Better is an handful with quietness, than both the hands full with travail and vexation of spirit. Then I returned, and I saw vanity under the sun. There is one alone, and there is not a second. Yea, he hath neither child nor brother. Yet is there no end of all his labor, neither is his eye satisfied with riches, neither saith he, For whom do I labor, and bereave my soul of good? This is also vanity, yea, it is a sore travail. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. Again, if two lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken. Better is a poor and a wise child than an old and foolish king, who will no more be admonished. For out of prison he cometh to reign, whereas also he that is born in his kingdom becometh poor. I considered all the living which walk upon the sun, with the second child that shall stand up to his stead. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also was vanity and vexation of spirit. Ecclesiastes chapter 4. So, he just keeps talking about how everything here is just, it's all vanity. The only thing worthwhile is of the Spirit and of God. And the more we can focus our attention on God and heaven and Jesus, and the less we focus it on this earth, the better off we're going to be, because we're all going to go sooner or later, and we need to be ready to go. And this life is about preparing to leave, preparing to die, basically. And Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And the only way to my Father's kingdom, which is heaven, is through me. And whosoever shall believeth on me shall have everlasting life. That's all you have to do, is believe. Believe in Jesus. Believe that he came. And no one I mean, the establishment didn't like him at all. He was shaking things up. He was setting people free. And they sure didn't like that. So they had to get rid of him. And then on the third day, he rose from the dead. He ascended. He ascended. So if you want to learn about ascension, study what happened with Jesus, follow in his footsteps. He is the one to follow. So I hope everyone has a good week and is safe. And Lord willing, I'll be here next Sunday doing another update. Hopefully things will be more livable here in my apartment once the smell goes away. It's just awful right now though. But I'm praying for all of y'all, and I love you. And until next time, God bless you. Go in peace, and I will talk to you soon. Good night.